Hey guys, welcome back to Teen Muscle Radio, and this is episode number 17, I believe, and we are here with Jack Richardson. So today I'm going to be interviewing Jack, going through again his sort of journey into weight training and also bodybuilding, and we're also going to sort of touch on sort of Jack's methods to contest preparation, and how sort of he's progressed through sort of the success he's had this year. But by all means, before we go into that, Jack, give yourself a little bit of time to tell the listeners why you're so great, and then we'll get into it.
Hi, I'm Jack. I'm 19. I'm a student at college. I'm studying personal training, trying to get into the fitness industry as much as I can, as well as doing bodybuilding. I want to do it as a career, so trying to get my qualifications,
Nice.
so I can do it full time. Currently, for a job, I'm a personal shopper at Tesco. Glamorous. Absolutely glamorous. It's student job. It's not a bad job.
Mm-hmm.
It pays for the supplements.
Yep.
So yeah, I've been training about 3 years.
Okay.
Bodybuilding about nine months.
9 months. Yeah. So So this was your first contest season, 2016. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, interesting. I was in retail as well when I was younger. I was at Sainsbury's on the checkouts.
Yeah.
So I know what it's like. It's difficult, especially with fitting in meals and having like 15-minute breaks and trying to cram in a meal. It's horrible. It's like, it's not the best at all. But yeah, interesting. Okay, so basically, Jack, I want you to sort of give us a roundup as to sort of how you initially got into the gym. Obviously, you've not been training for a massive period of time, but no teenager really is. But so just give the listeners an idea as to sort of how you initially found the gym and what it looked like in terms of that first session.
Well, I started off before the gym. I was just sitting alone on my Xbox all the time. that was me. I was one of those people hidden away in the house. Sports. I was one of those kids that would forget intentionally their PE kit and didn't take part in PE. I was not involved. I was not a sporty kid at all.
Wow.
I mean, a lot of people say, yeah, picked up a dumbbell when I was 9 months old, something crazy like that. Say they've been in it all lives. I never would have imagined growing up I would be into bodybuilding. I wouldn't have imagined it probably about 2 years ago I'd be into bodybuilding.
Wow.
I started the gym because I just moved into this area. I just left school.
Okay.
So I didn't really have anything to do. Big break into going into college. Nothing to do. My cousin said, "Oh, exercise for less. I've got a deal on. Join the gym." Yeah, okay, give me something to do. Yeah, I'll train with you. We had one session together.
Yeah.
But my dad wrote me a little training plan. I followed it. I stuck to it. I saw results, and bam, you know it says the
You
bug.
hooked.
Yeah, you get the bug. You see results. People start saying things, and then it became a hobby. And over a gradual amount of time, it became a lifestyle. Everything I was doing, it was gym involved. I started off at college doing IT because I was one of those nerds. And then it gradually came to the point, all I was doing was looking at fitness videos in IT. Constantly into the gym.
Yeah.
Completely changed. So it's sort of grown and evolved on me. It was just a rapid, gradual increase of interest, really.
So it went from like basically 0 to 100 very fast in terms of your level of interest.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that about sort of Xbox. I think quite a lot of people come from a gaming background. I wasn't massively into it when I was a youngster, but I definitely did play, and I definitely had the gym to get me off the Xbox and actually doing something productive.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, once you said, like, exactly when you start seeing progress, that's when you get hooked. That's when the Xbox gets sold or thrown away, and you really sort of fully invest your time. So that's interesting. In terms of obviously you said your dad gave you a program, which is a slight sign that your family was probably quite supportive. What did initially, when you sort of got training just to sort of get out of the Xbox routine and have something else to do, what did your parents think of it? Did they think it was a good thing, or did they sort of were they scared that you were going to get too big?
Initially, they encouraged it. This, because it's at the end of the day, it was exercising. They didn't see anything wrong with it. What I was doing, they didn't really have a problem with. They liked and encouraged me to go out to do something. Because at the end of the day, I was a kid stuck in his Xbox, so it was a refreshing thing for them to see me going out and doing something a bit different and actually getting a hobby, something that's productive and you can gain from, because 100%. You can't really use a high score in life. So,
yeah,
so
definitely agree.
It was quite good for them to see that.
Yeah, 100%. So in terms of when you initially got into the gym, the first sort of couple of months, etc., did you find that you made, because obviously you've got a really good physique for a teenager, worthy of a British Championship, did you find that even, now obviously you've probably got more knowledge on training and nutrition, maybe your training and nutrition wasn't perfect at the start, but did you make quite rapid progress in terms of laying down some muscle and seeing quite big changes in the mirror, or did it take quite a long time?
Actually, yeah, I did make results quite rapidly. Got to the point where the people I was training with, I was outlifting, outgrowing.
What were some of your lifts like? Like, how quickly did your lifts go up? What were some of your best lifts initially? Just giving them an idea of your strength.
What I could lift in my off season.
Yeah, whatever. It's
to the
like,
peak.
Yeah, well, just coming up like.
Or just started.
When you initially got into the gym, what was something that maybe quite impressive?
A few months to get to 100 kg bench.
Okay.
I started. This is the thing. I was weak. I was so weak. So weak.
Were you quite skinny,
when I
Jack?
Started. Yes, yeah. I was really skinny. I couldn't bench the bar, and that's what was amazed. That's what amazed me about the whole process, and that's why I think I got hooked, just because the rapid improvements. I could barely lift the bar up above my chest. I know I couldn't squat it either.
Wow.
I found struggle with that. I think, well, you sit doing nothing, but I think my body just responded like that. Then a month, maybe two, I was lifting a plate aside on the bench. It's not a massive weight, but it's an improvement.
That
definitely.
Progression is quick, yeah.
Yeah, and it took a few months to get 100 kg on the squat,
it's not bad at all. Which
for me, barely being able to squat the bar, it was a great achievement, personally.
And so did you find that maybe was part of the sort of the driving force or the motivation to keep training and keep going back to the gym, was like strength gain something that you were really interested in at the start?
Yeah, I think because strength is something you see initially before you see the physical developments, physical visual changes.
Yeah,
So I think I was interested in the strength side of things, definitely.
sure.
In fact, I was to describe my physique over 9 months ago. I was more of a powerlifting type of guy with
Okay.
pretty much high. I would say a high percent of body fat,
Okay.
really, and quite strong. Obviously, the people that are actually into powerlifting, that they will be a lot stronger.
Yeah, because they're sport specific. You were
Yeah,
bodybuilding as well, I guess. Yeah.
yeah. But I was going for mass. I think when you're not really clued up, you train heavy and you don't really train bodybuilder specific. You
Yeah.
don't really understand the difference, really. So
Uh-huh.
it was sort of compounds for
Yeah, yeah.
every exercise, every split.
For sure.
Um, yeah,
Interesting, yeah. I mean, that's something that probably drives a lot of people when they initially get into the gym is maybe, they don't see the physique side of things initially, but they might see, like their squat or their bench or something going up in the right direction. And they're like, oh yeah, well, it's a tangible goal because they can say, all right, I can get a 100 kilo squat by the end of the year or something of that manner. And it's just something for them to chase and keep going back. So I think
yeah, definitely.
that's a really good comment in terms of how sort of people can stay motivated at the start. So moving away from sort of your initial phases of lifting and nutrition, etc., let's go into how you initially found out about bodybuilding, because it's a very odd sport. Like, you get up on stage, you have tan on, you wear speedos, and you pose. Like, it's a strange
Yeah.
sport, so it takes a bit of doing to find out about it and want to compete in it. So what would you say that made you find out about it, and how did you sort of really figure out that you wanted to compete?
The people in the gym. I started training, and then I joined in a session with people that were interested in it. I got talking about the subject of bodybuilding, and then I looked into the fitness videos. A lot of people are getting into the fitness industry through YouTube and watching videos on the internet. Of
Who
what
did
I
you
can
watch?
tell.
Did you watch people
Um,
on YouTube?
Not really the mainstream like Rich Piano, those type of guys.
Okay.
I,
Did you
I
follow any natural athletes, or did you initially, like, who was the first bodybuilder you found? Don't bet it was it Arnold?
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
There we
the
go.
stereotype. I'm pretty sure everyone thinks of Arnold when they think of bodybuilding when they don't know the sport.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, when I got really into it though is when I went to Body Power last year,
Okay.
and that's how recent it is for me.
Wow.
It, like I said, it's not been a thing that's in my whole life. But don't get mistaken, I'm very passionate about it. It's like, bam, that
Mm.
quick. It's it's now a passion of mine, bodybuilding. But yeah, body power really got me into it because you see the athletes up and close. You talk to them, at home I'm starting to watch the Olympias, and
Mm.
then I'm following athletes on Instagram. I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
gauging all this information about the sport, and
Yep.
I'm only getting more and more intrigued about it. But yeah, initially did start it with just a conversation about the topic, and with someone else that was interested in the gym.
Okay. Was the guy in the gym that you met? Was he also a natural guy, or has he
Yeah,
competed before, or?
he didn't compete.
Okay.
No, it's just a bunch of people that were sort of interested, like the idea of competing, um, but had not yet competed because we were young guys. Um, Not a lot of people teenagers do compete.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. So it's hard to find sort of a like-minded teen. Hence why sort of I run this podcast and stuff, just to get a bit of leverage for people to find out what teens are doing and how to interact with them and contact different teen bodybuilders. It's interesting because, like you said, there's not many around. But yeah, that's interesting. It seems to be quite a stereotypical entrance to finding out about bodybuilding, etc. So what I'm interested in about sort of finding out again is, like, obviously when you were watching the Olympias and stuff, you probably realised that sort of level of competition was maybe not naturally achieved. So how did you sort of make the decision, like, okay, I want to compete, and then find the UK Drug Free Bodybuilding Association? How did you find them in particular?
Well, because I was originally, I thought last year when I went to Body Power, that was where the idea of competing came from. Because I actually saw athletes on stage. And I thought I could do that. Because before that, I just looked at pros and I thought, wow, crazy. But that was more achievable physique, and you put it into perspective. This could be a thing. But I spoke to, this was after I hired a coach, and I said I want to do Body Power. He put the idea, maybe it's more realistic if I can find something with a teen category in, because Body Power was juniors, which was
under 23.
Big gap. And he says you're natural as well. So why not a natural federation? I did my research, and I was definitely going to stay natural.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
That was the thing for me. So I did my research, came across the UKDFBA. I looked at it, and it really interested me. I saw the past seasons. I thought everything ran smoothly. Obviously, I didn't go to a show, so I wasn't 100% clued up on the federation, but it just seemed like a good start for me. And they were holding a beginners competition in good time for me to prepare for, so it just seemed like a good fit for me at the time. I'm very glad I made that decision, because it's a very supportive federation.
I really think you made a good choice, and the development of that federation seems to have been quite good in recent, like, past years, because when I did it last year, there was like one show. There was one up in Scotland, and then one, the UK one at the end of the year. I didn't have to qualify for the UK. You just did it. So now they've obviously got qualifiers. So you'd have had to qualify, correct, and then do the finals. Is that? So that makes it a little bit more competitive. Obviously, than the teens and the juniors look really competitive at the finals. So it looks like it's only growing. So definitely a good federation to pick. I haven't had anyone yet, I don't think, on the podcast that has competed in the UK Drug Free Bodybuilding Association, but have from the MPA and the BNBF. So it's interesting to hear. Like, obviously, you've got cool opportunities now to go abroad and compete, which we'll talk about at the end, which is good. Interesting. You touched on that, like, just previously, in terms of you hiring a coach, which is something that I do want to talk about. So when you decided that you wanted to compete in bodybuilding, obviously you maybe thought, okay, I'm a bit of a powerlifter. How does this bodybuilding thing work? So is that sort of why you hired a coach? And tell us more about how you found out about your coach and got them on board.
I was naive, very naive. Okay. Basically, I had a diet. I'll tell you exactly what it was. Consisted of Weetabix in the morning, which was good. I thought my only focus was to add mass on the scales, to make those numbers go up, add mass. That's what I wanted to do. So how do you add mass? I know, high carbs. Right, what's high carbs? Pasta. Right. Okay. So 250 grams of pasta in a box, scoop some mayo in there, and a tin of tuna. Yeah,
Nice.
that was the middle part of my day, and I split that into 2 meals, and I probably ate in between, just trying to eat as much as I can.
What do you think your calories were at that point? Do you know, or
stupid amounts, stupid amount. That's why I put on mass.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
But also quite a lot of fat.
A lot of fat.
Yeah.
That's why I said I had sort of powerlifting physique, because I was doing these compounds.
Yeah.
My strength was going up. I was putting on mass. So it worked for mass, but it's not effective because it wasn't lean mass. It was fat mass.
And
but
I bet
anyway,
it's made the diet a bit tougher as well.
Yeah,
Because you got obviously quite heavy, and then you had to come down. I reckon quite a hefty amount. Actually, just like whilst we're on the topic, give us an idea as to sort of what you weighed at the start of your prep and what you weigh right now.
I weighed at the start of my prep 218 pounds.
Oh my god! How tall are you?
5'8.5".
Wow.
To be exact. Yeah.
Wow, that's heavy. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And what are you now? What are you now?
170. Weighed this morning.
Wow.
170.
Wow, that's quite a good stage weight for a 5'8". You're still pretty. You've still got a lot of mass. That's a big stage weight for a guy of that height and age. That's good. But yeah, that's a lot of weight to drop as well. What's that? 30. That's almost like 50 pounds you dropped in a prep. Wow.
I know. So that's not muscle. I had.
No,
that's
no.
not all muscle, but so there we go. Anyone who's watched this who aren't clued up, eating loads don't focus on the numbers on the scales.
That's a very good tip. Yeah. Don't get too fat.
Because I was classic naive. You know, you focus, right, my strength's going up, weight's going up on the scales, and people are telling me I look big. I'm wearing a hoodie.
Yeah.
You know,
there is some merit to that. Obviously, you have built some tissue. You've also built a lot of strength, which there's some merit to that. But you could have also done both of those and stayed a little leaner.
Definitely.
Made the prep a little bit easier. But yeah, interesting. That's pretty cool.
It's due to lack of education on nutrition.
Yeah. Only young.
Yeah, definitely. And hiring a coach helped me see that. So, back to how I hired a coach. Had this idea of competing in body power. I thought body power's in May, work it out. I'll start dieting in February. Should give me enough time. Got to the end of January.
Yeah, that's not enough time.
This is how naive I was.
I know.
Like I said, only just got into bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I met. that is how naive.
No, but it's a good story.
Zach a couple of days before I was going. My deadline to start this diet plan. It was at a seminar with Chris Aceto and
interesting.
John Roden.
Oh, okay.
And Chris Aceto being a nutritionist, I thought, right, I'll go to that, and then I'll be able to write a plan. It's 4 hours long. How the hell are you supposed to educate yourself on nutrition? But obviously, me being naive, I thought I'll go do that.
Nice.
I met Zach. Zach was is the sponsor, the gym the seminar was held.
Okay.
So he was there.
Yeah.
Got chatting to him. He says, "What do you want after this?" I'm going to do a competition. The night of writing my plan, I realised I know absolutely nothing. But I remembered Zach told me he coaches. He's the only coach I know. I messaged him. After a few messages, we sorted out. We made a plan, and that's how I got to hire him. I just thought, I literally thought, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
After an hour, I gave up because I thought I don't know
Didn't
anything.
have to work anything out. Yeah.
And
That's.
there's my second lesson.
Mm,
If you need to know your stuff, if you are going to prep yourself, you need to know your stuff.
oh,
Definitely,
absolutely. Yeah.
definitely.
It's also a massively difficult task. Not from
It does,
just
yeah.
not from just a sort of knowing your stuff point of view, but also it's really difficult. Like mentally, it's just mentally draining because if you don't feel ready, you're more likely to make stupid cuts and drastic changes.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's that's something that has affected me in past years. Doing it myself, I've just there's some points where you kid yourself and you need someone to just tell you no, calm down, like chill out.
Oh, yeah. It's a
So
lot
that's
off your mind when you've got someone being the eye for you.
absolutely
Because they're an honest eye. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you think, I'm losing too much muscle, let's up my food. Or I'm not losing it fast enough, let's drop it. And then you end up losing muscle.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I give 100% credit to people, the teens who I competed against. People were doing it themselves, and I give 100% credit to them because
Yeah.
it is a task, and it takes a lot of nutritional knowledge to do that.
Yep. So what did your prep look like in terms of? So you were sent the initial plan from your coach. How much did your sort of your lifestyle and your sort of general approach to nutrition and training change as a result of you hiring a coach and deciding to sort of embark on a contest prep? Give us the roundup of the changes and what it looked like initially.
Okay, it was a massive change for me. Absolutely massive. Like I said, the only structure to my diet was that those 2 bowls of pasta that I had, which made me fat. This was a structure. Every single meal was on a plan, and there was weight to it. First thing for me, I had to weigh my food. That's crazy. Very, very new to this. So, yeah, I had 5 meals to start with.
Okay.
5. Wow, that's a lot of meals.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was eating big meals with snacks in between.
Yeah, of course.
And the training plan was a 6-day training split, and it was consisted of. It's been a similar sort of thing. Consisted of 2 back days, 1 chest to shoulders, 1 shoulders, quads and hammies, I think.
Okay.
So that was an interesting split for me, because usually I just it was a powerlifting approach, push, pull, legs, compound start of everything.
Yeah.
There's more isolated movements in this. So the training plan was built to shape me up because I was just a fat block. So it was really, really good. Started off maintenance amount of calories. Protein was highest, then carbs, then fats.
Okay.
It was didn't need to change the diet for a few weeks because obviously the initial structure of a diet
You just
made
saw
me
straight
lose.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, until I lost 18 pounds. That's where there was a slight tweak of the diet.
Okay.
But yeah, it took 18 pounds for it to start slowing down. So that's the effect of having a structured diet. And then gradual tweaks started happening. We introduced the 6th meal in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did your calories change as a result? Did they go up or did they go down and you just changed your meal structure around? What happened when you added that meal?
I think what we did is we lowered the carbs and added fats in there because the meal was avocado and chicken that we added in there.
Okay.
But it's been 6 ever since. My meals now are completely different to the meals then.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, there's lot more carbohydrates involved. It was just back then. It was porridge, eggs, and blueberries.
Okay.
Sweet potato chicken for a couple of meals, steak and veg with cashew nuts, and then before I went to bed, Greek yogurt and protein shake.
Okay.
Now it's completely different. Now, oh man, no. now it's completely different because we're trying new tactics to lose weight. I'm on a carb cycling now.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
this is the thing. This is something I never would have thought of, and that's another reason why hiring a coach has benefited me. Really, is because there's been constant change to keep the weight loss steady.
Yeah. So are you looking to sort of continue to lose weight for your next show? Are you looking to get a bit leaner? Is that the current goal, and is that why you're sort of trying to change things around?
Definitely. Yeah. I think the goal since the first competition was to just bring a harder condition, and more shape, more lines, deeper cuts.
Yep.
And I think I've managed to do that. So far I've done 3 competitions, and each time I've improved. I've been fuller, I've been leaner, my shape's been better, and I want to make those improvements to the Worlds as well. Yeah,
definitely.
I'm on track as well to do that as well. The weight's coming off. Okay.
That's good. That's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, did you? Obviously, you talked about food, talked about training. What has your approach for sort of cardiovascular stuff been throughout this prep, and is there anything that you've sort of found quite difficult about doing cardio? That obviously you coming from a powerlifting background, it's not quite stereotypical for powerlifters to do that sort of activity. So what did your cardio look like, and have you found any sort of things difficult with that at all?
Well, didn't do cardio, but I did do cardio before, and then a few weeks the diet was working its magic. Didn't really need cardio. The fat was dropping off.
Yep.
The fat must have been eager to drop off. It just came off quickly.
Yeah.
And then obviously when that slowed down, we had some less cardio. Not a lot, just low intensity. 20 minutes here and there, a couple times a week.
Okay.
And it's gradually increased through some HIIT training in there. And then, we've just put it in for when things have started to slow down.
Yeah, fair enough.
For the British prep, I was actually doing more cardio than I am currently. Now we've increased the deficit and load the carbs. I think that's because that's probably working better for me.
Yeah.
But difference from the start of the prep, 20 minutes here and there. Now it's an hour and 35 minutes a day, really.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
We're fasted in the morning.
Yeah.
35 minutes, low intensity, intermediate, so you'd slightly up the intensity, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Do that 3 times a week. And then 15 minutes HIIT training. Wow. 3 times a week. So yeah,
that's a decent amount.
6 times a week. Yeah.
Pushing
but
hard.
before got up to 1 hour and 50 minutes in the day.
Wow, that's a lot of time to be spent doing cardio.
Yeah. But because it was introduced gradually, it wasn't really had a big effect on me.
Yeah,
because
sure.
cardio is a mental thing, definitely. So I think gradually increasing it helped. So if you told me you're going to be doing nearly 2 hours of cardio a day, almost every day, I would have ran and cried.
Yeah,
I
for
said,
sure.
no, I'm not
Same
going to
right
do
now.
that.
Yeah.
But
It's the way it
no.
goes, mate. Like, honestly, a lot of people, if you want to get really lean, you're going to end up doing quite a lot of cardio.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
unless you want your food ridiculously low to create the deficit, you're going to be doing some cardio. Like, that's it. You've got to do it. It's the difference between getting really lean and, you know, getting averagely lean, and you don't want that. You can't compete like that. So, yeah, I think that's a pretty realistic thing. Would you say that Would you say there's anything that you've really done? Obviously, you know, you've mentioned gradually increasing it, which is a very good tip. But is there anything else that sort of helped you through that change of having quite a lot of cardio to do? Do you listen to any music? Do you watch any TV programs? What do you do when you do your cardio?
When I do my fasted cardio, I have a bike just over there. I do mine on a bike.
Okay. Yeah.
My TV's set there. My Xbox there. I just wake up, go on my bike, play my Xbox for an hour. I make sure I'm going intense enough to get the heart going and get a sweat.
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't scrimp on it.
No.
Definitely not. So, as long as you do it, I find it's okay. It's okay. It's just a distraction. That's all you need to make cardio a bit more bearable. Is the distraction. I sack a lot of cardios in the gym, so music, probably go on Instagram or talk to the guy next to you.
Keep your mind
occupied. I'd say. Yeah,
definitely.
It just goes like that.
Something I'm interested about also is especially the fact that you started at quite a high weight. Do you feel any different in terms of your level of productivity or energy throughout the day now that you are... I know that right now you're very lean, so obviously productivity and energy throughout the day isn't probably at its best, but do you think that maybe sort of midway through your prep, maybe where you were like 190, 180 pounds, so like you were comfortable when you weren't too lean and you were also not as fat as you were, did you feel like healthier and more productive, less lethargic as a result, or were there any good positive changes?
Definitely. A lot less lethargic. I didn't feel tired throughout the day. I felt happier. I felt good. Felt a lot happier. Felt real positive. I thought, I'm eating healthy. I'm training hard. Good. I'm losing weight. It was very... I had a more optimistic view about life in general. That's the power of the nutrition. Eating healthy. Definitely felt a lot better for it.
Yes, it's interesting to hear that because, you know, right now, you know, myself and quite a lot of other people that sort of haven't competed this year at sort of their peak in terms of sort of off-season weight and stuff, and I can definitely relate. Like now, I'm getting to the point where I'm like struggling to wake up in the mornings. I'm lethargic throughout the day. I'm like, how like. I felt like death. I felt like death during prep, but I'd still wake up at 5 a.m. and feel like let's go, let's eat.
Ironically, I could get up for cardio. I've got barely no carbs. I get up for cardio, do blast an hour, but it took me half an hour to get out of bed just to go walk into the kitchen and eat a big bowl of Weetabix.
Yeah, I just can't be bothered anymore.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy, but it's interesting. And it's almost like, I think when I decide, you know, maybe years and years down the line, right, okay, I'm not gonna, I've done everything I need to do. I don't want to compete anymore. I think it's honestly like I'd stay closer to not closer to very, very lean, but I'd stay in the middle ground. I wouldn't ever push my body weight up to a place where I'm like, fuck, I feel like really tired and lethargic.
The happy medium.
Yeah, definitely. It's a ground that a lot of people just don't really experience too much. You either experience it on the way up slightly or on the way down. Like that's the only time you ever stay there. So yeah, it's an interesting point. Okay, moving on to sort of my final big topic in terms of the overall experience of your show day itself, in terms of doing the tan, getting to the venue, enjoying the day, doing the posing routine. What was your general feeling? Because obviously you hadn't even been to a show before. What was your general feelings of it, and was it an immediate click? You were like, yes, I really love bodybuilding. Was there anything you maybe didn't like about it? Just to give your opinions.
My first show day. Is this my first show day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting day. Yeah, first, I'm very excited. Obviously, I spent 4 weeks. This is my first 4 months of dieting. I've been dieting for nearly 40 weeks, by the way.
Yeah. That's a long time.
So it's the first 4 months dieting. Looking forward to this show, and I couldn't wait to show it off. Woke up on the morning. I could not stop throwing up.
Really? Wow.
Could not stop throwing up.
Wow.
Put it this way. If I had worked that day, I would have called in sick. I was ill.
What? Were you ill the night before or anything? Were you just ill in the morning?
I was fine the night before. I was great. I was happy. I was stopping my coach's house. We pretty happy with the package that we brought.
Yep.
That I woke up, it was about 4-5 o'clock in the morning, throwing up, curled up on the ball. My stomach was killing me. I couldn't do that. Couldn't go and squeeze and pose. I couldn't even get up to walk.
Wow.
Not doing it. Can't do it. Probably gonna have to go and get some medical help. I just felt horrible. Yeah, it was horrible.
Do you know why that potentially was? Did you eat something bad, or?
I have no idea. A mystery.
Wow.
Because it hasn't happened to me before, and we've done the same things.
Yeah. Did you play about with your water or your salt? Or, well, it can't be, because if you've done the same things, obviously it can't be any of them.
That's what's confused me. It's a big mystery.
Yeah.
But luckily, it cleared up.
Okay.
And I thought, right, well, I've spent 4 months for this. I'm going to the show. I'll do this.
Of course.
Drove up there. By this time, I threw up all the carbs I was carbing up on.
Oh.
I missed my meal for the morning. I was supposed to have a big butcher's fry up. Missed that. I was flat. I was watery.
Not good.
Not good. So, didn't think. I thought this is more of participation.
Get some experience.
Yeah, I'm going to take part. I'm glad I did. I really enjoyed the day. It cleared up. I didn't feel anything on the stage. I thought it was great. I'm glad I did, because I got second place. I'm very happy about that. And it was a tough lineup. Probably the toughest lineup of the teens the whole year.
Yeah. What show was that, out of interest?
That was the USN Beginners Classic.
Okay.
It didn't qualify me. That's why I had to do another show. It didn't qualify. It wasn't an official qualifier. Only first place got qualified.
Okay.
But really, really good standard, good athletes. It was a good day, because just pumping up stage, being able to show what you've worked hard for to other people, having people pay to see you and cheering you when you're showing a routine that you've put together backstage with like-minded people, even their experience, because it's people that you don't get to see on a daily basis. It's just a great atmosphere to be in. And then after the show, people are coming up to you, well done, giving you credit for this work that you've put on. probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. Definitely.
Yeah,
Apart from
so
the morning, it was a great day. I'd recommend it to anyone.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. Like both the feelings backstage with the other guys, that you just never bump into so many like-minded people in one day, and you're like in awe. You're in awe of everyone around you, like looking at the juniors, looking at the men's bodybuilding, looking like you're like, this is all achievable naturally. You're so pumped to see it. And I just remember like one of my first show, like I was almost like, it's a funny story, I don't think I've ever told anyone this, but like I was almost certain that, okay, I'll do a natural show and then I'll just, I'll hop on the dark side and I'll go and do a non-drug tested show like the next year. And the minute I did my first natural show, I was like, no, staying natty. Because like I saw the potential that you could get to naturally, and I was like, man, I'm pretty happy chasing that. Like that looks good. So yeah, it's just the feeling of the day is just incredible. And like you said, when you come out after, like I'm sure after you won as well, even more so, you get people coming up to like, well done, like just complete strangers. Like you don't have a clue who they are, but they'll know your name and like add you on Facebook. It's wicked. Like awesome. I wouldn't have been able to sort of connect with you if you hadn't have done so well. I've added up people that have done well, and it's cool. It's like super motivating to have this sort of environment. So it's good to hear that. Like you definitely sound super passionate, and like you can tell the way you talk about the day, etc. The way you battled through being completely sick is something quite motivating. So that's good. In terms of obviously moving to the British finals, obviously after you qualified at your qualifier, did anything change in terms of your mindset towards the British final, and like did you expect to win is my real question. Did you like say to yourself, right, there's nothing I want more than winning, or what was your mindset like?
My mindset, I basically put everything. I made sure that plan that I was given to me by the coach, that was my recipe to win. I made sure everything on there was followed, food measured to the gram. Basically, I took the food like everything else was poison. Like I took my supplements like it was essential medication. And I trained like if I didn't train hard, I would die. So
wow.
To put it in
That's
other
good.
words, it was like life dependent that I got this trophy. I got myself into a routine. I'm in this routine now for the Worlds. But I made sure I won because I had gotten this far, invested so much time. And I was told I had the potential, and that was enough.
Yeah. Too right.
Yeah, I got told I had the potential. I'm not saying I walked around thinking, yeah, I'm gonna win. I just wanted to do as much as I can to win, and that's the difference. I didn't think I was going to win. I just made sure I did what I can. I did my best. Because as long as I did my best on that day, the other guy beat me, deserved to beat me. He was obviously better. I did everything I could, and I couldn't possibly feel down about that because I did everything I could.
Nail on the head, mate. Nail on the head. If you go into a bodybuilding show knowing that you've given every single ounce of effort, you can't walk away unhappy. Like it's a matter of opinion. You have 6-7 judges. It's their opinion. It's not like a powerlifting meet. You either squat 200 kilos or you don't. It's like you turn up and it's someone else's opinion. So
basically,
like you said, if you pour every ounce of effort in and you give it your all, that's it. That's your physique. Done.
I made sure. Instead of trying to fit prep into my life, I tried to fit my life into prep.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure my life fitted around prep, and I found the best way to do that is to routine.
Routine is massive.
Same every day. every single day. I'm in that routine now. I could tell you the exact routine now if you wanted. I could, yeah. I wake up at 10 to 4, do my cardio for an hour. Start my cardio at 4. Go eat my breakfast on the bus to work, and then I start work at 6 until 9, where I have my first break. That's where I have my second meal, and then I finish at 12. It's only a 6-hour shift, which is not bad. Shifts are quite low because of prep.
Yeah.
I finish pre-workout meal, workout, cardio, home, eat another meal. That would be at 4 o'clock. Then I'd prep my food, have a nap. 6 o'clock I eat, and then do whatever, chill out,
pose.
Go to bed at pose, and go to bed at 8. Same routine every day. It's
nice,
and
that's a good amount of sleep as well. Regardless of you getting up early, that's a good amount of sleep. I used to do that. I used to do a very similar routine in terms of getting to bed really early, but getting up really early. Like I found that routine really worked well. Up before everyone else.
It's not glamorous. It's not a glamorous thing. It's not a lifestyle that you would go out and brag about. Oh, guess what I did this weekend? But it doesn't last forever, and that's what people need to realise when people are saying to you that you're missing out on so much.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. It's not forever.
It's not like this. The final bit, like you said, like fitting, life around prep, etc., or prep around life. It's like that. The serious bit, the bit where you have to sort of embrace the suck, so to speak. You have to embrace that for only a short period of time. Like it's not a very long period of time. Like the bit that got you to like 180 pounds or 185, that could be done without a massive amount of sacrifice. But the sacrifice comes at the end, and you're clearly demonstrating that with your intense routine, which is, it may sound obsessive, but you're not going to get the job done if you don't have it. Like you have to be obsessed with it.
The people say, I do get a lot of obsession, and you probably had it in prep.
Yeah.
But this is the difference. Obsession is something that can't be helped, and obsession is doing something pointlessly that isn't necessary, but excessively.
Yeah.
But the difference is between obsession and the discipline is this discipline is taking me to somewhere I want to be, and there are results with this, and that's the massive difference that people need to understand. It's what you have to do. It's in other sports as well. I mean,
yeah.
Definitely. You ask an Olympic athlete how fun their lifestyle is right before they're on that track. It's
gonna be boring as hell.
Not glamorous. It's not glamorous.
Yeah.
When you want to be an elite of the sport, it's not glamorous, but I love it. I would not change anything about it. And it hasn't been. My life hasn't been like that for 40 weeks. People need to understand that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very good.
People, it's been a gradual thing, and now I'm at the very end. So this is where this is where the hard work needs to come to get to. I'm trying to get to an extreme condition, so I need to do extreme things. What the average person wouldn't do. It's not just 20 minutes on a cardio machine after you work out, and even there, like it was when I first started.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between average condition and world condition.
Yeah,
which I'm trying to achieve.
That's it. Really, really good comments there, mate. And I'm sure that a lot of competitors can take something from that, but also people looking in on competitors and thinking, man, they're obsessed for like 30, 40 weeks. Well, we're not. We're just passionate, and the sacrifice comes at the end, and that's That's part of the process. Like you said, it's the same with other athletes. So yeah, really, really good points there, buddy. So yeah, not to sort of hold either the listeners or yourself for too long, we'll wrap things up. So in terms of just giving the listeners an idea about sort of your plans moving forward, give them the date for your final show so they sort of know if they decide to follow you now, when your sort of last show is, and how to follow you towards it. So yeah, date of the last show, and then give the listeners an idea as to where they can follow you, so if you have Instagram, etc.
Date of the show is November the 19th, and that's when the Worlds is being held.
Okay.
You can follow me on Facebook. The name's Jack Richardson, like a typical bodybuilder. You'll find a photo of me topless. That's my display picture.
Yep.
Instagram is jack.richardson_1.
Okay.
I'm active on both things, constantly posting updates of my progress and things like that. I'm there.
Awesome, cool, and I'm sure you'll probably get a few decent followers that want to follow your journey to the Worlds, and I'm sure that people will really get something decent from this podcast. So thanks again for coming on, Jack. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. It's a pleasure to be on here, to be fair. Really, yeah. I've seen the other videos. There's a lot of potential coming up. A lot of potential. I want to stress to people is you could be an average person and get to where you want to be. I was nobody 9 months ago, and I've achieved. I'm not special. I've just put in the work, and everyone else could do that. Everyone else could do. It's achievable, very achievable, if you put in the work. But yeah, that's what I want to say. You don't have to be. You don't have to be God's gift.
No, that's it.
That's the thing, yeah. So.
Cool. Well, thank you very much, Jack.
No worries,
really
mate.
Appreciate your time. I'll let you get on with your evening and have your meal. But just to end things for the podcast, so if you guys are sort of listening on YouTube, then please subscribe for the latest episodes and also give the video a like. But if you're listening on iTunes, I'd really appreciate a 5-star review if you could do that, and also subscribe again for future episodes. And I'd also like to finally apologise for the lack of content over the last few weeks, but podcasts will be regular moving forward, and I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And again, thanks, Jack, very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.
Peace.